Hi, I'm Dawn Norton, and this is my basic EFT demonstration video. While I do the tapping, which is what emotional freedom techniques is also referred to, you may have several questions. For the answers to those questions, I refer you to my website, successrevolutions.com, or you can email me, dawn@successrevolutions.com. You can also find at my website, if you put your email address in the box on the free EFT coaching, I will send you 3 EFT lessons, and I will also send you invitations if you're interested in my free EFT classes, my one-day seminar, and my 6-week series. So for more information on those items, please put your name and email address at my website, successrevolutions.com. So I'm going to start today by showing you the basic EFT points. Each practitioner is a little bit different. Some might use a couple of extra points that Gary Craig did not officially use. They might drop some points, add some points. They might do it in a slightly different order than another practitioner will. So I'm showing you my version of EFT. The first point is called karate chop, and it's in between the pinky and the wrist. And tap right here. The second point is the eyebrow, but it's not up here. It's kind of where the nose curves and the eyebrow begins, right here. You're going to use 1 or 2 fingers for each of these spots on your face. The second one is here on the side of the eye, on this bone next to the eye, not back on the temple. The next one is under the eye, right on the eye socket. After that is right under the nose. And then the chin point, which is actually where the chin curves up and starts the bottom of your lower lip. And the collarbone point is not out here on the collarbone. It's kind of at the beginning of the collarbone, which is more towards the center, but you find the V in your neck, go slightly down to the right or left and just down, and it's right there at the beginning of the collarbone. After that is under the arm, and here 3 to 4 inches under the arm. On a woman, it's the top of the bra strap. It might be kind of tender there because of the lymph nodes. You can use 3 or 4 fingers there to tap under the arm. And then on the wrist, you can either tap the wrists together or just use 3 fingers to tap that spot on your wrist. And finally, a lot of practitioners start with the top of the head, but I end with it, and it's right up here, right on the center of the top of your head. If you drew a line from the tops of your ears to the top of the middle of the head, it would be right there. So we say a phrase 3 times, and then we say a reminder phrase as we tap. It depends on what you're focusing on. That phrase is, even though blank, I deeply and completely accept myself. You can put anything you want to in there, and it can be 2 words, it can be 20 words, it can be free-flowing. So for example, even though I have this right shoulder pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or you could say, even though I feel so very sad, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or you could say, even though I'm so embarrassed that my mom or dad embarrassed me in front of all of my friends, I deeply and completely accept myself. You could even say, even though I feel so guilty about a certain thing that I did, I deeply and completely accept myself. Anything that you can speak or think of that's going to address your stressful thoughts, stressful emotions, stressful physical symptoms, or stressful spiritual issues, not in a religious way, but things like self-acceptance, guilt, forgiveness. Any of those things can be filled in that blank. When I'm dealing with emotions with people, I often ask them to say a certain phrase, and that phrase is, I feel blank because. And so they'll tell me the emotion that they're feeling and why they feel that way, and we'll turn that into a phrase. So you could say, even though I feel sad because my father died, I deeply and completely accept myself. So you can totally make that phrase whatever you feel like you would speak if you were talking to a friend. So let's say, for example, you have some kind of pain. We're going to do shoulder pain. It's good to get specific, no matter what the issue is that you're working with. So for example, with a shoulder, you might identify, is it throbbing? Is it stabbing? Is it achy? Is it dull? So let's say we have a sharp throbbing pain in the right shoulder. That's how we'll set up the phrase. And you're going to address, first of all, what is the level of pain that you're experiencing on a scale of 0 to 10. So on a scale of 10, you'd probably want to start tapping right away, take some kind of medication, go to the doctor or hospital. If it's a 0, you probably don't need to do anything, and the goal is to get down to a very low number, 0, 1, or 2, so that you can have some comfort. So the phrase would go like this. Even though I have this sharp throbbing pain in my right shoulder, being very specific, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this sharp stabbing pain in my right shoulder, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this sharp stabbing pain in my right shoulder, I deeply and completely accept myself. We go to the eyebrow, and the phrase we use is shoulder pain. 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 And then we take a deep breath. That kind of helps clear some of the negative energy that we might be hanging on to. So the second round is a little bit different than the first. Our subconscious is very literal, and with the first round we're dealing with the pain that we have. But now that we have cleared the original amount of pain that we have, we're going to address the remaining pain. So we will change the phrase just a little bit. Say we started with an 8 and went down to a 5. So even though I still have this sharp stabbing pain in my right shoulder, I deeply and completely accept myself. Except I think we said throbbing before. So even though I have this sharp throbbing pain in my right shoulder, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this sharp throbbing pain in my right shoulder, I deeply and completely accept myself. I'm going to say the phrasing one more time because I should have used the word still. So even though I still have this sharp throbbing pain in my right shoulder, I deeply and completely accept myself. This time when we go to the reminder phrase, we're going to say remaining. So remaining pain, remaining shoulder 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 pain. And we take a deep breath. Now the quality or nature of that pain or that emotion could change. You could go from anger to fear to sadness. You could go from a sharp pain to a dull ache, and it could actually switch from your head to your shoulder to your neck to your head. I teach in my classes how to handle that situation, but we're going to assume for this situation that it's gone from an 8 to a 5 and maybe it's down to a 2 now. So even though I still have this right shoulder pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this right shoulder pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this right shoulder pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. Remaining right shoulder pain. 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 And we take a breath. Hopefully at this point it's gone down to a 0. That often happens. Sometimes it can happen on the first round, which is not common, but I have had that happen at times. Or it can take 3 or 4, or maybe even up to 10 rounds to get that down to a 0. So hopefully that's the end of it. If you had made an appointment with me and you were my client and you weren't making progress, then we would go into other things like emotions, what's going on in your life at this time, what kinds of stresses you're experiencing, and I would ask you all kinds of questions about that, and we would tap on the emotional issues perhaps that are going on behind the scenes of that shoulder. So this is my basic EFT demonstration. You can use it for anything, as I said before. If you had an emotion you were doing, for example, sadness, even though I feel sad, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now each of these things can be done just like that, but often we need to get to the bottom of why you're feeling that way, especially with emotions. So saying that you feel sad might be way too broad to experience any kind of permanent relief from that sadness. So we would want to tap on the specific experiences that were making you feel sad. But for today, this is a basic demonstration, and that covers most of it. If you have more questions, like I said before, go to my website, successrevolutions.com, or email me, dawn@successrevolutions.com. Thank you.